happening, y'all? It's me, resident supervillain, Mr. J. Washington. I'm back with another one-on-one with the supervillain. You already know I sit down with members of my supervillain squad. We talk about an hour about whatever it is they want to talk about, whatever's going on in the world, and all those good things. And I've looked in the camera, and I need to shave. But that will happen later. But I'm glad to be talking back to the home. You know, I bring it back around. Many of these people have been supporting me from the beginning. And I'm talking to the homie from the crib, from Chicago, Mr. Chauncey Woodson. Also, y'all got to make sure y'all check out his Chauncey in the chat. I had the pleasure of doing that recently on IG. What's going on, bro?
What's going on, brother? What's cracking? What's up, Supervillain Squad?
Man, listen, I am trying to wake up. I have not had a full night's sleep in over 2 weeks. I am beyond exhausted, beyond drained, and I still got shit to do. Like, I've been taking I feel like I can inject caffeine into my veins right now, and it probably won't do shit.
Man, I saw you having technical difficulties on Thursday on Blurs. I was like, damn.
Bro, I was like, yo, I got a job to do, so I got to do the episode at least, get through that. But like, you know, trying to do all the things I'm trying to do on top of staying sane throughout all this crazy shit, you know, because it's just like, you know, we all in the midst of this damn, you know, again, I'm in a city that's shut down, but shit is open at the same time.
Yeah, and what was crazy about that, because when I was just going through YouTube stuff here and there, I saw, I didn't get a chance to check out the video yet. It's from a channel called Black Excellence, and it said something about why Black folks even California and 5 different places they're going to. Like I say, I ain't get a chance to check out the video yet, but that's something interesting to see, and I'll pop the link to you on that one later on.
Well, a reason a lot of people are leaving, it's expensive as fuck to be here.
Yeah, I've heard that for starters.
You know, it varies expensive. You know, a lot of people now, if you're not a native Angelino, as they say, you know what I'm saying? You don't native Angelinos, they get it. They're like, yo, I've lived here. I understand. I've watched everything go up, rent and all this. And again, the only thing that's different is now a pandemic. But most of us who are transplants here, you move here and you move in for the entertainment industry. And you also understand, on top of the entertainment industry, you got to have a regular job to take care of yourself and maintain. But then all that stops. So it's difficult, dog. Like, you know, you got the, you know, people were getting unemployment at first and all that was going through, and that was good. So people started scheming the systems. And, you know, it's just now trying to figure out, you know, it's that whole stay strong and persevere. Like, I know a lot of people who aren't from here who have moved back to their hometowns because they were like, I can't do it.
Yeah. I know it could be hella difficult because one of my homegirls actually from Chicago and from my high school alma mater. You may know her. Her name's Christina Wallace. She does acting. She does stand-up sometimes or what have you. But she's been persevering through, like, you know, doing like just taking advantage of the whole social media platforms. Like, she's doing stuff left to right on Instagram and TikTok and everything like that. You know, besides the fact of her looking quite attractive, by the way, she's just, you know, using any and all talent possible, like, I guess, keep her head afloat. Because like about a week ago, you just mentioned about how she got her first apartment in LA without a roommate in quite some time. Moved out like 2 years ago out there.
Which is hard. Like, yo, like unless you are making steady, good money, it is hard to find a place like that out here.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can imagine. And I imagine it's probably 2, if not 3 times harder than trying to live up north out this way.
It's about, you know what, it's somewhat the equivalent now. But I think it's way more difficult because you're moving out here not for the view and not just really for the entertainment industry. You pay for your zip code out here.
Oh man.
Yeah, so like, you know, like I've been looking at spots and like the rent they were asking for, and I was like, yo, I wouldn't mind. I would be able to do it if I was working at least my regular gig as a bouncer.
Right.
Because I knew I could work as many hours as I needed to pick up or whatever the case may be.
Right. Exactly.
I knew I could do all that. But now, you know, until that happens again, like, You don't know, unfortunately. And I mean, like, yeah, there's still some projects that are casting, some things that are booking. You know, as a whole, most TV productions are paused on everything because of, you know, how LA is considered the epicenter now of COVID, which is crazy because everybody's like, oh, I thought California being this blue state, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, you got to tell people, like, man, first of all, if it wasn't for San Francisco and Los Angeles, California would be red as shit.
I remember you and Winston mentioning that too.
Yeah, like we were talking. Yeah, like I was saying, there was a travel ban, but it was not even a ban. It was like, yo, self-quarantine wherever you go to, and things like that. And so people would come in here, especially in the winter. People who live in the Midwest and places that were getting cold were coming out to LA. And also, LA has LA County. LA is just one massive place, but you have LA County with Los Angeles proper, but then you got Orange County, who was all anti-maskers and people who are COVID deniers and all this other shit. So it's like it happens, but dude, this whole thing, but you know, it's caused everybody to think, oh, well, why is California shut down? But it's like, yo, it's not just because of one. It's not because of one thing. It's not just, oh, liberals don't know what to do. All that stupid shit people say. But yeah, it's difficult trying to find stuff out. It's very, very difficult trying to find stuff out, man.
Yeah, I would imagine so. And plus, like, by the way things are shut down, and like you say, how, you know, work is getting twice as hard to find, especially with productions getting shut down. It's like the thing of trying to, you know, continue to be creative and profitable at the same time. I know it's got to be even more challenging. Up until
I mean, yeah, it is. It is, you know, it's funny for me in the situation where I was doing stuff on different internet networks anyway, right? I was going to these different websites and doing stuff and getting paid for it or whatever. And yeah, it might have migrated to doing things via Zoom and StreamYard, Streamlabs, all that stuff. But at the same time, you know, because they weren't able to put out enough content, I guess because there wasn't enough stuff to talk about, so they couldn't give enough content, revenue started slowing down. So then you can't make the money like that. So then you got to try to make the money on your own, like you were saying. And so that's like when we do blurbs, even though I know we need it, you'll always hear me say, you ain't got to. You know what I'm saying? Because I watch a lot of people in the same space that I'm in, they push Streamlabs and Super Chats and all that so hard. They push it because that's their main source of revenue. And it's like, I understand it, but also I understand that the people we're trying to have them give us money are also trying to figure out how to get and keep money.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Because I know like everybody didn't almost everybody, I should say, didn't hop on the Clubhouse bandwagon.
Bro, I'm kind of glad in my heart that I do not have an iPhone as of right now. Okay. It's kind of one of those things. I'm going to drop myself out of this one and go back to the other one. And here we go. And it's like, I'm glad I never got into that. My agent literally just sent me an invite for Clubhouse the other day. And she was like, well, it might be coming to coming to Android soon. And I was like, I'm straight. Because it was, you know, from when I first heard about it, it was cool. It was something like it was nice to do. It was a great networking platform and, you know, connecting with individuals, right? But then all of a sudden, you started having people clout chasing, and then people acting like because they were doing certain things on Clubhouse, they had clout. You're like, yo, calm down.
Right, exactly.
Like, y'all really are pushing this way too far. And I was like, yo, I don't need that in my life. You know what I'm saying? That's like that extra level again. Having to navigate social media within itself to remain a presence, to remain a voice, to remain relevant, on top of having to be on YouTube, Twitch, and all this, while still trying to audition for stuff and, you know, fortunately booking a few things and still trying to do that, and then making sure I can take care of my kids. What people also forget when I have to bring it, like, yo, I still, like, the majority of people I know out here, if they're a family situation or they're married, most times it's just the two of them. Many cases. Sometimes they finally decide to have kids after they're stable or set, right? I got to tell people from the gate, I got babies. I got 2 kids. I got a 17-year-old and a 7-year-old. Like, they are probably, I mean, granted, I need to make sure I'm okay, have a roof over my head and whatnot, but
But of course,
they got to be able to have their stuff.
for sure. So, yeah, it's really tripped out. And speaking of another thing about Clubhouse, what's your take on this dude Kevin Samuels and his whole little go with the average situation? And
Oh, well, I don't think he was in the wrong at all. Here's my thing. Thing. This is the thing, and he said it best. And I was looking at something online, and somebody like recorded the audio out of it. Right. He was like, "I ain't say nothing different to that one girl that I say different to anybody else. It's just y'all took that one part." And that's where I definitely agree with him, because people are consistently doing that. They choose what to be upset and outraged about. They take bits and pieces of things to formulate an opinion off of instead of the entire thing. And so if he's been saying that on different levels to everything, and if also the conversation with her went further than what people were talking about, because he went, I didn't write it down and jot it down or whatnot, but he elaborated on everything about who she was and what she said. And I was like, well, if that be the case, then yeah, he can make this point. You know what I'm saying? Granted, also, it's his show. That's another thing. I don't get people trying to police. Look, I understand, not wanting to have people be sexist, racist, homophobic, whatnot. Okay, cool. I understand those. Out the gate, I understand those. No argument from me about those. But people are not going to all think the same. People are going to have different perspectives on things, different views on things. And the moment, like, look, I know people have been arguing this whole silence conservatives and blah, blah, blah. Like, it ain't nothing to do with silence conservatives, because you motherfuckers still can talk wherever you want. Let's just be honest.
Oh, exactly.
It's shutting up bullshit. It's shutting up harmful bullshit. Right. So in this, but then go back to him, it's like, he doesn't have to, he's not going to be, he has a different opinion. He has a different voice about, he sees things differently. And then honestly, just like again, with people who spread hateful bullshit, they have a different opinion. And there are people who think like them. So to know that's what his platform is, as long as his platform isn't causing harm, as long as his platform isn't inciting violence and whatnot, he did nothing wrong. But people want to make it seem like he's wrong. And it's like, yo, this always happens when it comes to black men and black women. Let's just call it what it is. There's this unequal, this upward balance, if you will, this imbalance of, yes, we should listen to our queens, protect our queens, and respect our queens, absolutely. But to the same right, you got to do the same for black men.
For sure.
You have to. And you can't, yes, many times we will have a difference of opinions. Also, many times we will come to a compromise. But you have people who are stubborn. And it is always known that in general, women are more stubborn and stick to their guns than men do. Men are stupid and stubborn to the point where we know it'll be fallible. We know we'll fuck up eventually. Women will be stubborn to the point where they're infallible. I say this as somebody who was married. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen it. And it's like, because of these button heads, they're going to have this, he's a dude, so he's wrong.
Right.
And that's not how it should go.
No,
if he's wrong for being wrong, he's wrong. If it was a woman being wrong for being wrong, she's wrong, not because she's a woman.
Right. Because like the way I'm seeing it about it too is like you say, you got the one hand where we have to be protective of our women or what have you. But then again, too, if we step up and do, any type of protection or whatever against anybody try to cause them harm, then you got some out there that's going to be feeling some type of way. But like, who the hell's you? I ain't asked you to do all that. You doing too much, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. But it's like, okay, whine and cry on social media about providing and protecting, but it's like, okay, what are you really expecting? You know what I mean?
But also, it's also
guys do it or what?
But also, it's social media. So, and that thing I say it that way is social media has given everybody a safety blanket, if you will, a level of protection. So even if you're wrong, You can put something out on social media. You're gonna find your tribe. You're gonna find those people who rock with you, who don't even know you, and now they're gonna all make you feel like you're right, even though there will be opposition to it, and an opposition not just for the sake of being an opposition with points and facts as to why you're wrong. Again, man or woman. Like I went, you know what I'm saying? We talked about it last time when I talked about Wonder Woman. Like, right. Yo, this is my thought on Wonder Woman. This is why I feel it's wrong, blah, 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 blah. Oh, well, you just don't like a movie with a woman lead and a woman director. I say, no. You can't. That's one thing you cannot come at me about.
Exactly.
You can't. Because why? Look at my praise of the first Wonder Woman.
Facts. And I was saying that to somebody else too.
You know what I'm saying? So like, you can't come at me because of that. So now you literally have to, because somebody else tried to say, well, you just don't like DC movies. I can't do that. Again, I like the first Wonder Woman. I like Shazam. I actually dig Aquaman, contrary to popular belief. You know what I'm saying? So you can't do that. So now, why I have my reasons for disliking it, you either accept it or don't. But you can't put it in a box as to why you think I'm antagonistic towards you.
Yeah, it's people like that kill me with, feelings like that or whatever.
But we're all entitled to it. It's just social media has made it like social media is one of the greatest things and worst things to ever be invented at the same time.
No, I feel what you're saying on that though. One thing that I also meant to talk about, and I think I shot you a link on in a little while, and this one may kind of close. About, let's say, a few weeks back, I guess Rosie Perez, she was getting interviewed by Fat Joe, and she was explaining her whole little situation on Do the Right Thing or whatever. Mm-hmm. And she was talking about how, she basically felt uncomfortable doing nude scene that she didn't do the right thing, whatever. Even though there wasn't like really direct sexual contact between her and Spike. Like last I remember, the only thing that happened really between them was just some kissing. But other than that, the whole rubbing ice on her body type thing.
Yeah.
And then she was explaining about how the reason why her face wasn't showing because she was, I guess, crying or whatever about what was going on. She still went through it regardless. Mm-hmm. And then she talked about something about her older brother or something like that at the time had came up on set to make sure, Spike wasn't going to try to do funny, whatever. I'm like, okay, I didn't hear any complaints about any other women that he's worked with. So why, after 30 years, you would say something?
Well, here's my thoughts on that. I'm on it. I probably haven't watched the video you sent, so this is the first time I'm hearing it. Like, okay, we understand that from Harvey Weinstein more than anything, that women have been put in uncomfortable situations in regards to their careers. Mm-hmm. Right? We understand that, there are women that have had to do things outside of just what's on camera for their careers, unfortunately. We get that.
Yeah, I get that.
We are now moving towards an era where if you're a woman and you see this, you're reading the script and you see this and you don't feel comfortable with it, you bring it up and it possibly has changed. And granted, that wasn't probably the same time back then.
Right.
But also it's like, if, okay, did you feel uncomfortable? Possibly. Who are we to say? Again, who are we to say?
Right.
But I always am one of those people, even when this dude saying something crazy, like, yo, 30, 40 years later, we talking about this? Like, again, what is it? Okay, if you're telling it to get your story out, absolutely. Cool. Again, are you making awareness that this can happen? Cool. Are you trying to slam Spike? That's something we can address. Or are you just trying to make it be known these things happen in the industry? And again, yes, we all know especially those of us in the industry. But like now, you'll have scenes where a woman is supposed to be nude, and so they'll make sure they just show her from here on up. to imply she's nude.
Mm.
You know, most nude scenes that people don't. This is something people don't get to, and a lot of people aren't privy to unless you hear the stories.
Right.
Many actresses that are nude on set that require a scene full of nudity, the set is empty depending on where it is.
Oh yeah.
The only people there at the time are the director, the DP, the photographer, and the cinematographer, excuse me, and that's about it. And maybe script suit, and that's it.
Right.
It is this minimal amount of people on that set to keep that actor comfortable.
Exactly.
Now you have some women who are like, "It's my job. I love my body. Whatever." I mean, granted, everyone is different, but there are, and again, these are new precautions taken. You know,
right.
I guess I can't really speak to it because it's like, is there a reason, or did you just feel like you needed to address this? You know, but also, who's asking this question? Why are you asking this question? 30-something. You got to ask this question because you know something about it.
Right. Because like one YouTuber that I did watch, she had mentioned something was like, well, A, why would you say something about 30-some years later? And B, why all of a sudden you got the smoke for Spike, but you ain't got the smoke for Ron Shelton and Harrelson when you did White Man Can't Jump.
You ain't got damn bit of smoke for them. Damn bit. Woody Harrelson, yeah, but with Woody Harrelson, them, you good. So, because again, now it puts this in this, now it puts you in that category, because now that you bring that up, it brings to reference the broad from the Soho Karen, the Mia Porcietto chick, who was like, I can't be racist, I'm Puerto Rican. Bitch, no. And I'm not saying Rosie Perez is racist by any means, but it looks bad when you're literally upset at one and not the other. Like, if you're going to address one, address it all. What makes you more comfortable in this one than, because it seems so weird and awkward.
Right. And see, when she said all that, I'm just kind of looking at with screw face, like, seriously, Rosie? Because I swore just like a couple years back when he was on The View, he was talking all this jazz about how Puerto Rican got, lineage to black folk and African and whatever. This, but then you bring up little stuff like this, and Spike, was well loved, reserved by most of the industry. Like I said earlier, I ain't heard no other, women that he's worked with that have done sexual stuff in his movies say anything else.
And I know some people may be watching this and then eventually will think, well, they may not have ever said anything because they were fearful for their careers. That is understandable. However, there would have been rumblings, because there's always rumblings about somebody until shit hits the fan. Everybody who has some like major dirt, it starts to rumble. It's like one of those open secrets, if you will.
Right.
Brett Ratner, open secret. Bryan Singer, open secret. Harvey Weinstein, open secret. You know what I'm saying? And so, but it ain't the case with Spike. It's like, people know Spike's whole thing is, I'm going to tell you about how black people are treating this industry as opposed to white people or any other race. Right. And then I'm going to stand up and tell black stories the way black stories should be told. That has been Spike Lee from jump. There's always been Spike Lee. There's always been Spike. So yes, will he ruffle feathers and rub people the wrong way with that? Absolutely. It never matters who it was throughout history. Anytime somebody has spoken up and said, I'm gonna put black at the forefront, it's caused some drama. Like, oh, well, what about if white people did that? You do.
I.e. the whole Peel situation, and then when Josh McCougar got in his feelings about it.
You get people doing that shit like, yo, y'all do. Everything is primary. It has only been recently that black people have been able to yield some level of authority. And then to go with the whole, oh, well, does it make it right you doing it? No, bitch, it don't make it right, but it makes us even. Because now you know what we felt like. But also, you've never heard of Spike doing that. Exactly. Spike's assistant is a white guy, a white guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? His team is always, but it's mixed.
Mm-hmm.
It's mixed. So it's never one of those Spike is only pro-black, all black, blah, 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 militant type black. It's not that. It's never been that with him. Right. But again, when it goes back to the initial discussion of the harassment or abuse or misuse of power, again, I'm not saying I'll never say don't believe women. Even though I've argued, because side note, when the Cosby stuff first came out, because this is what made me think about this. When the Cosby stuff first came out, I was one of those people that for a minute was like, yo, for real? And my homeboy was like, yo, you got to believe women. I said, hey, bro, check this out. I said, I do, but I've also known niggas personally to get slammed off bullshit. I know niggas that have caught cases off bullshit where nothing happened. Right. And by the time it was rectified, his reputation is already ruined. So, but again, Cosby, open secret, though.
Exactly.
That's the difference with that, though. Like, again, when I first heard, I wasn't privy to the open secret. Let me say that. Mm-hmm. I wasn't as privy to it being an open secret as I was later on. But then you start. So again, it beckons again. Am I saying that Rosie could have a point? She could, absolutely. But I don't know if there's a motive, if there isn't a motive, if there's a reason. I mean, because there's got to be a reason you bring it up. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason, and not saying that reason has a motive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just because I haven't heard nothing else about it recently, but I just hope something that can work out and nip in the bud, because it's like we already got stuff against us as is. We don't need it to get any worse. You know what I mean? So, note though, you, sir. Soon as you come up, lo and behold, a lightning rod struck. So when the Mortal Kombat stuff came out, and I like most of the stuff or whatever, and then of course what you said about
hey man, yo, Makai Brooks a cool dude. All right, I know him. I met him personally. Right. However, this nigga look like Steve Harvey from Family Feud. Y'all still, hell no, y'all taking souls.
Oh my god.
Give me the top 100 people. Give me a name you think who's gonna win this tournament. Survey set like.
I'm not gonna really try to attempt to do Steve Harvey like that. But just imagine now. He's like, say it. You see this shit? What the hell's our word?
And then the fact that Mortal Kombat is rated R helps it out, because now I can. What the fuck? Like Mortal Kombat is rated R, dog. So it's like,
right.
I mean, again, it's a highly anticipated movie. The last Mortal Kombat movie we had left a sour taste in everybody's stomach in Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Yeah.
You notice I had to say movie because the series and all that they've done have been decent. The Scorpion's Legend animated movie, dope. But
that was tight for sure.
And now we got this, and it's like, all right. I mean, we heard he's playing Jax. I was like, why are we insistent? Look, I get having a brother in the movie. As a black man who acts and who wants to continue to work, I understand that. However, at what point does Major Jackson Briggs really serve? Because in all actuality, he's Sonya Blade's backup.
Basically,
he's not a standout character. Nobody's sitting there. Look, again, we've seen how do you beat Jack? Rip this nigga's arms off.
Simple as that. It's a done deal.
It's a done deal. So I mean, I can't directly say like. I can't directly be like, yo, he gonna be making an impact. Now, will they possibly make him have more of a prominent role in the movie? Could be. You know what I'm saying? But again, when we watched it, when we first saw it in like 95 or whatever it was, 94, 95, whatever.
The first one, yeah.
It was cheesy, but it worked. Goro was a
That was the
giant puppet with a ponytail like a chick off 67th and Ashland. Like, I was cool with it. So for people from Chicago, go 67th and Ashland one time. Now, granted, you might be scared a little bit, but I promise you're gonna see that Goro ponytail.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool. Like, it is hard for me, and that show. It actually lends itself to saying how prominent the film was, because for the longest, no one can see Shang Tsung as Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa. He's the only person you want to see as Shang Tsung, to the point where they brought him in for the game.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
That Aftermath joint is nice.
But you get a Sub-Zero, you get a Scorpion, you're gonna get your basic characters. Again, you get the basics, you get the foundation of Mortal Kombat. But what ancillary, again, the foundation and a Kung Lao. So now we know we're getting him. It's like, how much further do you go? And also, at the same time, I am skeptical. I'm not gonna lie. As excited as I am to have a new film, I'm still skeptical.
Right. Because it's like, you don't want to go too crazy over the top, but at the same time, you just don't want to be, bland or whatever. And I think what could make this one work a little better, the fact that you have like actual actors and actresses who do have that great martial arts background. My man Joe Towson from The Raid and Fast 6, who's gonna be Sub-Zero, I believe. And then you got
Ludi Lin
from Ludi Lin, and somebody else I can't think of.
So I'm real quick. I want to stop you. I'm learning something. So I reset my internet. I'm good. The jumping is on you. I just want you to know. I'm like your face right now. Your face right before you just moved again. Your face was like this. Like, you'll see it in the replay. Like, I don't know if you got your Wi-Fi on or you're in a shoddy spot, because you're in a different spot from where you normally was. And again, I get probably people at the crib, but just letting you know, nigga, it ain't all on me. I understand mines and get the crazy stuff, but I reset everything. Okay. Notice since I reset it, we've been pretty good on my end. So that lets me know.
Okay, well, when you replay, I have to out. All I gotta say is, damn you, AT&T.
Oh yeah, but again, the cast is cool. The cast is cool, and having, like you said, having actual martial artists helps, because don't get me wrong, people can learn for the role, but the level in which you want for the film, sometimes you have to have people who already have that experience with them.
For sure.
That's why in the first one, Robin Shou fit for Liu Kang. Granted, he wasn't like a full actor, but he was a martial arts master. Right. You know what I'm saying? Chris Casamassa as Scorpion, actual martial arts master. You know what I'm saying? Guys like that. And so, you have that. Again, this is a tournament, but it's going to be very, very interesting for me personally, because not only do you have this martial arts tournament, but Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is a martial arts tournament movie. I can't wait. Even though they are two completely separate things, focused on two completely separate plots, how people are going to compare the two.
Yeah, it's going to be very check out. The only two other things I will say in terms of Mortal Kombat stuff, whatever. I wish we could have got another Kombat versus game, because I did low key enjoy it when they first did it.
Wait, you broke up again. Another what?
No, I was just saying, I wish we could have got another Mortal Kombat versus DC video game, because low key I did enjoy the first one. And that was tight. I will always remember from the very first Mortal Kombat movie, the Scorpion versus Giant Cage fight, mainly because when Scorpion was stomping on Giant Cage, he wasn't just stomping on Giant Cage. He was doing a Men's Society South Central, where the fuck my money at stomp.
Yes, he was. He's some dog shit out. I was like, oh. Right. Like, that was one of the best fights out of all the fights. Like, that fight between Lyndon Ashby and Chris Casamassa is probably one of the best fights in the whole movie. And they ain't even, like, it was just stuff. The shit. I was like, oh.
And the music that went with it. The music that went with it, though. I was like, man.
I was like, what did he do to you?
Right. It's like, I would never ever want to meet Scorpion or owe him anything.
And like, hey, bro, listen, I get paid next week. I can make sure. Hey, I can run you that soon. Look, I get paid next week. Let me go cash my check first. Let me cash my check, and then I got you, right?
Right. In other versus stuff, though, I'm hearing about how I guess Godzilla versus King Kong supposed to be coming soon in March.
Yo, yeah, they finna drop that. Like, I was just I did a 101 yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was telling the homie Luis Torres, he was like, do you think we're gonna get these movies? I said, hey, bro, these studios are now at the point you're gonna get these movies. You just gonna, because A, there's a vaccine. B, right. They got other shit planned. They cannot keep putting shit back. Because they keep having, because everybody's like, oh, well, they should push back. The problem is, if you keep pushing back one's release, you waiting to try to get all the rest of this done, and then by that time you can lose your main actors.
Right.
You can lose your main actors because they've been assigned on to another project bigger that's happening now. All that stuff. You finna, man. Look, HBO Max know what they're doing because, and if you noticed in that teaser trailer they dropped. It was one thing, and unless I missed it, and that sizzle reel, there was no Snyder cut in that. It's still coming out,
right?
But it wasn't focused on that. It was but it was mainly focused on everything that's coming in theaters too. So, I mean, I answered my own question, but I mean, look, they're forcing people to get accounts. I mean, granted, yeah, some people will share. But they're gonna start pretty much putting a lockdown on how many people can access this one account at a certain time. You know what I'm saying? So, like, oh, you think 4 people finna access this one account? Nah, that's not finna happen. Now you can make profiles in the account and you can share that way, but at the same time, people are gonna buy the accounts themselves. There is too much coming out this summer for Warner Brothers slate on its own. There's too much for Warner Brothers for people not to be like, I could pay $14.99 a month, right? For 3-4 months. For let's say the 3-4. Let's go more because we're doing summer blockbuster 10 starting early. So for almost 5-6 months, if you will. So March, April, May, June, July, August, September. So for 7 months, I pay $15 a month, right? And I'm getting all these movies. Most of the year, I can watch them for a month only on streaming. But I can watch them more than once.
Right.
So, like, some people watch Wonder Woman 2 and 3 times to see, okay, did I not get this? Did I get that? What happened here? What didn't happen here? And granted, it's only for a month and it's almost done on HBO Max. People have taken full advantage of that. And knowing that, people, again, Space Jam 2, family shit, and LeBron fans, and some people just want to, you have a wide range of people for Space Jam 2. Godzilla versus King Kong is going to take a lot of people who were sour off Godzilla King of the Monsters.
And low-key, I enjoyed King of the Monsters.
I saw King of the Monsters when it didn't have the finished visual effects. So they showed us King of the Monsters with what's going to be. So they'll tell you got to imagine this here and there. They're letting you know what to picture because they break it down in the scene. And so I knew at the end when I saw Godzilla stand on top and these kaiju bow down to him, I was like, this is the most terrible ending ever to declare him King of the Monsters. This is a terrible ending because you see, like, really? Oh, how do we re-energize Godzilla? Hit his ass with a nuclear bomb. What?
Basically.
I mean, you're like, wait, Godzilla's radioactive. If we give him a burst of radiation, he could hit this nigga with a nuclear bomb. All right. What happens? You got a Godzilla that's going damn near supernova that's about to explode while trying
to kill off all these other mofos to save the Earth, right?
But this motherfucker finna explode himself.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Now, do you think they're gonna try to make any like connection regards to Kong Skull Island in terms of maybe bringing in an actor or two from Kong Skull
It's the
Island?
universe.
Oh, okay.
The universe.
Okay.
That's why
No,
if you notice in Godzilla King of the Monsters, they even said Kong is still on Skull Island. They even say it. They even say the actual line. So it's a universe for them now, which is it's amazing. I need to turn off this vibrate on this phone. It's annoying shit out of me. It's amazing because now we have so many universes. Like we've always had them. Like in a sense, we've always had them, but now we're like, okay, we just have to build out big worlds. And yes and no. Remember, the Dark Universe was supposed to have been a thing.
Not so much now.
After the Mummy bombed, everybody was like, no.
Let's see this shit. Fuck that.
Oh, Russell Crowe is Dr. Jekyll? Okay. Okay. Oh, Angelina Jolie's the Bride of Frankenstein? Yeah.
Nah, I'm good.
Because it was like, after you had a Mummy bomb, you don't care who's attached to other roles anymore. You don't care.
Because Johnny Depp, before the BSC went through, he was supposed to be Invisible Man. If I'm mistaken, I thought Hot was supposed to be Wolfman also.
I thought it was The Rock.
Oh, really?
It might be one. It's one of the two of them. But you built up all this A-list talent to be in your dark universe, and your jump off point doesn't work, which is why, again, for all the shit Marvel Studios gets, because they sometimes don't get everything right. I've said it before. We say it constantly.
Right. Exactly.
They were smart. They never told you they were building a universe. They let it happen on you. Because they were like, all right, we're going to play this. We're going to play this smart. What they did was they were like, you get Iron Man 1, right? Post-credit scene. I want to talk to you about the Avenger Initiative. Oh my God. Okay, this is only indicative of if this movie sells well, right? It can be in the movie, but if Iron Man 1 doesn't destroy at the box office, the odds of the Avengers are slim to none.
Right. And that
if you're jump off point, I'm sorry?
I was just saying that was a big time bet too. And luckily and thankfully it paid off.
Again, not even just the fact of the movie, but the actor of Robert Downey Jr. You taking a risk. So if this don't work, the plans you have go like this. All right, so Iron Man works. Incredible Hulk is a whole nother thing, but we bargained with Universal to cut a post-credit scene to do one little thing. All of a sudden, people hated the movie, but forgot about it and said, fuck the movie. Oh shit, it's happening.
Right.
Then you get Thor. You're like, okay. You get Iron Man 2 first, then you get Thor. And you're like, wait, what? Wait, for real? And then go to Captain America in the modern day New York, and you like, oh my God. It's happening.
Right. And then the trail at the end of that, I just lost it. I was like, it's going down.
Then you get the trailer. Once we got the real trailer that said Marvel's Avengers, you was like, oh my Lord Jesus, because you knew it was real. You knew it was real, right? But it built up perfectly.
Yes,
take what DC tried to do. The problem was DC jumped into the universe building game late, and instead of still taking their time, they just was like, build it, do, go. And it's like, that's not how this works. Like you can't, do not try to play catch up to them, because you'll never catch up to them.
No.
Because because if you're DC and you do this the right way, by the time you finally assemble the Justice League, we're damn near at Age of Ultron already. So we 2 ensemble movies ahead of you already, right?
Right.
We're already ahead of you on this. Winter Soldier was a thing in itself. You know what I'm saying? But then we had because Winter Soldier is Winter Soldier did that because then the Civil War afterwards, right? So we already at Age of Ultron. Now Now we in phase 3. Now you still building on DC, but guess what? Nobody's complaining because we watched you build this out. We watched you build these characters out and flush them out. Now, does it take into account and consideration the shit with Ray Fisher and all that? Not really, because I think the way Fate would have played, I don't think Whedon ends up getting on Justice League. I think if unfortunately Zack Snyder's daughter still commits suicide, we still have time. You get what I'm saying? We still have time to build this because you're building the characters around it.
Right.
You building the characters around. Batman v Superman could have been cool. But once you said Dawn of Justice, everybody knew what you were about to do when you DC. Everybody knew you finna throw everybody in this movie somehow, some way. It's unnecessary.
Very unnecessary.
You could have had Batman versus Superman. That's it. Let them beef. Let them beef.
Yeah. Right.
You don't need to bring them together just yet. Let them beef for a movie. Now, you introduce. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, as opposed to throwing 5 different plot lines to try to make everything work. And it's like,
to try to run and get another movie. So then, you know what I'm saying? You go and you got, okay, you introduce Diana. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't go this whole story now where you're showing the Trinity because you're rushing to get to Justice League. Build it. Still build this movie up.
Right.
You know, as a matter of fact, you could have did Batman. You could have did Man of Steel. You could have actually just gone ahead and did Wonder Woman. Because then in Batman v Superman, or you can go Batman v Superman, don't add Diana, or you do, and then you do Wonder Woman immediately afterwards. Then you can go again. You couldn't get a directive to stay on to save your life. You should have had the Flash movie.
Man,
because I think
10, 20 different directors.
Granted, Muschietti is a dope director to have, but you had Rick Famuyiwa at first. Like, the fact that you weren't able to hold on to him speaks volumes. Because Rick Famuyiwa is amazing.
Oh yeah, especially with this episode of Mandalorian and dope. Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? So you'd have had him. Bam. Right now, you built up. Now, do we get the Cyborg movie right away? Nah. Give us Justice League, then you give the Cyborg movie because you've shown you can go backwards in a sense when it's answering questions and still setting up in the future. Now, again, you're DC, you building up. Buck what Marvel is doing.
Right.
But they were so concerned about how Marvel was making this money hand over fist at the box office that they had to try to catch up, and it screwed them.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Because now you're trying to play catch up with all these movies, right? Okay, you said it's a universe, but it's not a universe. So you're going to do these individual films to eventually discover if you're going to bring them back together. Okay, cool. So now you got to play this game of, yeah, we know the multiverse things work. So now if you decide to bring these characters back together, you need a new Batman and you need a new Superman.
Yeah, because with everything that's going on with those guys, it's like, yeah.
Affleck can't do Affleck get in that shape he needs to get in for that. Affleck ain't gonna do that. And then you got fucking Cavill. Cavill was like, I'll appear in movies.
Right.
You know, so you can get Man of Steel too.
Witcher stuff. Right.
And Witcher is way more. He's loving doing Witcher.
Oh yeah.
He's loving it. So why do you change that? Again, you played the game. If you'd have built this shit up right, you'd have had them locked in like Marvel locked in Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Robert Downey Jr., Jeremy Renner, Mark Ruffalo, Scarlett Johansson, and Samuel L. Jackson, a man who gets thrown movies and everything every single day.
Oh yeah.
And still lock them in.
Yeah. Speaking of Evans, though, what's your take on him showing interest on doing Cap again?
We're gonna do it again. You're gonna see. There's times in Cap's life we always didn't see, even after. I'm talking about after he was unfrozen. You know, there were times in his life we didn't see. There were moments we didn't see. Also, Cap has a life. He had a life now. So It's not going to be a whole new Captain America movie with him. It's not going to be a whole plot line. It'd be flashbacks of Cap and all this shit. And then people were like, well, Chris Evans denied it himself on Twitter. Yeah, so did Tatiana Maslany.
But
and
he's still doing it.
Huh?
No, I was saying, look what happened. She's still doing it, though.
No, not anymore. Not after they officially announced it. Not after they did the Investor Day. Once the Investor Day happened, she couldn't do it anymore. It was like, yeah, you locked in.
Oh wow!
But it was, she was. It came out. It wasn't supposed to come out that she was She-Hulk. That's what it was. It wasn't supposed to come out. It wasn't supposed to come out. So she denied, and then when it was announced, okay, she's She-Hulk. But that's I think that's what it is with Chris Evans. Again, it wasn't supposed to come out. A lot of shit sometimes leaks, and it wasn't supposed to come out. Deny, and then you're like, cool. But that's just like people who's sitting there still to this day and going off of a fucking rumor that Charlie Cox is in Spider-Man 3. Now, is it a possibility? Yes. But let's be realistic. In this day and age, with as many set photos and sneak photos and shit we've heard and seen that proven people are on sets, you can't tell me we wouldn't have got a photo of Charlie Cox on the set of Spider-Man 3.
Right.
You can't tell me we wouldn't have got a picture of him somewhere around in Atlanta or New York.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me we wouldn't have. And come on. Now, again, is it possible? Yes. But what happens is this is one of those rumors that we got this covered and other places do. We throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. Yeah,
kind of like a couple of days ago when somebody threw out Kristen Rivers talking about coming back to Jones book series. I'm like, yeah, right.
She said she was done.
Right.
Now, unless Marvel then backed the truck up,
because
that's the only way you getting her to come back. She was happy it ended. She was like, I'm done. I've done my time as Jessica. I'm done. Unless you back the truck up, more than likely you ain't getting her. So again, throw shit. Again, everybody gonna throw shit at the wall, especially with the Defenders, with the Netflix characters. Everybody gonna keep throwing shit at the wall. I would not be surprised if after Falcon and the Winter Soldier drops, whatever they decide to do next with them, there become rumors that John Bernthal gonna pop up as Punisher.
I was just about to say something about him too.
So it's again, it takes no genius, no level of smarts to say, all right, what do we need to do for clickbait? If we're a website that all we do is clicks, we don't give a shit if it's legit or not. We just need people to go to the site. What do we do? All right, cool. We need to say these characters are being something, but we need something that sounds plausible. So yes, Charlie Cox reprising his role as Matt Murdock sounds plausible in Spider-Man 3, knowing that Peter's whole thing is he has to prove he's not Spider-Man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So again, Jessica Jones is in She-Hulk. Yes, She-Hulk's a lawyer. Jessica Jones worked for a lawyer. Now you gonna tell me Carrie Ann Moss gonna reprise her role?
I don't know, man. These folks, and it's like every time that something has been said from We Got It Discovered, I've been telling these folks that's on my Facebook friend list, I'm like, quit buying into this bullshit. It's not happening.
And then because people be like, people try to tell me well, you never know. I say, trust me, I know, because I know it's from We Got This fucking covered.
Right. And learning from you of all people, I know not to trust them.
They're terrible, man. But listen, I hate to cut this short for a little bit, but I got another one I got to do right behind you.
Man, you may get some daggone sleep after this, man, or try to.
I'm going to do the second one, and I'm going to prep. I'm going to do the second one. I'm going to do this one I got to do after you. I got to prep to do this show, Tournament of Nerds. So I'm going to get my little notes together for that shit. After that, I'm going to try to take at least an hour nap. Because I did end up doing a dummy yesterday. I called myself taking an hour nap and allowed myself to sleep 2.5 hours. So by that time, my body started to re-energize. But when I woke up, now I was up all night. So, yeah, man, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen eventually. Sleep will happen. But yo, tell the people how they can find you. Tell the people how they can check out Chauncey in the chat and all that good stuff. Yo, you got to figure out. You got to start downloading those to have them upload themselves, like to IGTV. So download it and have it go to IGTV so you can have it saved. Because I know it's alive, but you want to be able to keep them up.
I get you. And yeah, I'm still, trying to work on it.
No worries.
But folks, check me out on CCW_78. That's my original Instagram. Also got Chauncey in chat live. I'll
spell it out for them. Some people don't know how to spell.
Of course. ChauncineChat live. And you can also hit me up because dusted off my Twitter account, Chauncimus_prime. That's another deal you can hit me up at too. Also hit me up, of course, on Facebook, Chauncey C. Woodson.
Yeah, man. As always, y'all know the deal here. Twitter, Instagram, Mr. J Washington. All other places you can find me. It's a broken record. I'm still there. I'm still in all those spots. All right. But always to the homie Chauncey, I appreciate you, bro. Much love. I will hopefully connect with you whenever I get back in town. Because I don't know how soon I'll be back, given the fact that auditions have happened and now I gotta be here in case I books. Like it's gonna be weird. Like I can't. Like I remember when I booked the Channing Tatum joint. Like I auditioned for it like 2.5 weeks prior, something like that. I know I do this thing where I send the audition in, I learn, send it, done, boom. I got told I got it, then got told I had to. It was on a Saturday morning at like 8:30. Then was told you need to go COVID test now. So I was like, oh shit. Okay, so I did. So now that fear of when certain audition, like when I look at a project now, I look at its start date. So I'm like, okay, if I book this, I need to be back by at least this time. So, but yeah, man. So it's gonna happen, bro. So I'll let you know when I come back to the crib.
For sure, no doubt.
All right, y'all. We'll holler. Don't go nowhere yet. But we'll holler at you later. Right. Take care. I'm out. Bye.